Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, can you share your screen? Ma'am, your voice is audible. Okay, ma'am, I will check it. Ma'am, the screen is visible. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's running. Ma'am, we are going to introduce yourself, then we'll start the session. Ma'am, we will introduce you, then we'll start the with session.
Good morning, good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon. नहीं ये नहीं जाने. Good afternoon, madam.
आपण वरून कॅमेरामधून बोलायचं का?
कॅमेरा कुठे? रात्री इंट्रोडक्शन पूर्ण करना है. हाँ.
एक मिनिट सर, मी ऑन करतो.
झालं का?
एक मिनिट सर.
पुढे आपला.
चालू आहे.
Hello, good afternoon, madam. And nice to meet you. And can we start now? Okay, ma'am. We can start? Yes. Okay, ma'am, we are starting now. Right.
Good afternoon and welcome.
ते दिसते ना त्यांचं? ते दिसते ना? हो. ते पण दिसते.
As famously said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. We at Mahatma Gandhi Mission are working together since years for the holistic development of our learners and academicians. The MGM NEP 2020 Vision and Envision in Health Education is one more step towards adopting the changing dynamics of education. Let's continue this brainstorming journey. Here we go towards our next session, NEP implementation to state and public health universities. We are fortunate enough to have virtual presence of Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanetkar ma'am, Vice Chancellor of Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, Nashik, to familiarize us on the crucial topic. The Honorable Vice Chancellor is a pediatric nephrologist who has done her post-graduation from Mumbai in the year 1990 and training in pediatric nephrology from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, followed by fellowships at Singapore and London. She has had the distinction of being first in Pune University in all three phases of MBBS and was awarded the prestigious President's Gold Medal and Kalinga Trophy for the best outgoing student of the graduate wing in academics and extracurricular activities in the year 1982. She has also completed the Feimer Fellowship in Medical Education. She has been a guest speaker at various national and international conferences. Ma'am has been awarded with several esteemed awards. To name a few are Best Teacher MUHS in the year 2008, Param Vishishta Seva Medal in the year 2022, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal in the year 2018, Vishishta Seva Medal in the year 2014, commendation by Chief of the Army Staff in the years 2000, 2003, 2004, and twice in the year of 2012. Commendation by GOC-INC in the year 2002. We are extremely fortunate to have you, ma'am, and we are eager to hear from you. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
There are echoes still coming. Can I request the organizers to remove the echoes? There are echoes still coming. There are more than one open at your end. Can I request the organizers?
without much focus on creation of knowledge. But the NEP provides huge opportunities. We can develop curricula contextual to the needs, develop integrated multidisciplinary courses, new courses which are skill-based, relevant and meaningful to society, need-based multidisciplinary research, use of e-learning facilities, collaboration with other universities, but the challenges are the same everywhere. Shortage of trained manpower and taking a team of diverse people along with an energized vision roadmap that we created. So with that, I share the integration, innovation, improvement in education and research for health at MUHS, keeping at the backdrop of the NEP 2020. So after a SWOT analysis, all of us sat down together, and I would like to give my regards and gratefulness to all the ex-vice chancellors, DMER personnel who helped us formulate this vision document and roadmap over the next 5 years. And it is not just a coffee table book, but we've identified deliverables, timelines, and what we hope to achieve, and put it on our website, and it's also with the ministry as well as the governor. The first thing we started with a financial plan and prepared an accounting code, because any change requires to plan your resources. And thus, we brought out our deliverables as infrastructure, automation, research, quality in medical education, etc. And we had 7 such pillars. We put in deliverables in the MUHS vision plan, and I'm very happy that most of these were achieved above target within the first year. So for example, health university must have a college, because that would help generate knowledge, have your test bed, better for research. And since this was under process for many years, we pushed it through, and today, along with an MOU with Civil Hospital, we have 52 postgraduate seats, and people have all joined, and we are taking up for 7 more subjects. Along with that, as I talk to you today, the government is just, the GR is there, and we would soon, hopefully by the year end, start the construction of our hospital, college and hostels in the campus. We are experimenting with new teaching learning methods through an MOU with Microsoft, and this was a workshop attended by 1,500 students, but we would have a hub and spoke model with the more distance, because we would like to make education equitable. It doesn't matter which college the student has joined. And with that, mixed reality for teaching was tested upon. Integration being the hallmark, at the university we tried at our best from top down, having a pro-VC from the Ayurveda system, a complete faculty in the Department of Ayush, the university research department. All these faculties had to be recruited. They have now been recruited. URD already has one from Ayurveda. Plus, we have established our own NAC and IQAC cell at the university, because the university, being a government university, had not moved towards NAC, and it was difficult without a college, without publications. We could not have achieved. So we are going in a stepwise manner, and have a strict research policy promulgated, and the PhD program is being up through compulsory pre-course in molecular methods, animal handling. We've provided and created 4 or 5 courses. In addition to that, we are empowering faculty, which university was lucky to have had a very good department since 2007, but here all affiliated colleges, irrespective of which faculty, they do the workshops together. And we also have professionals and faculty from the Ayush department, and over the years a huge resource capacity building of faculty has already been carried out. With the result, at the World Ayurveda Congress, one of our faculties, Dr. Shweta, could actually go and introduce them to new methods of teaching learning. And when the competency-based Ayurveda and curriculum was announced, the university immediately started running CISP workshops, just like for the MBBS course. So we ran them for the Ayurveda faculty, and next week we are planning one for the homeopathy homeopathy faculty. We've started a very interesting concept of online Ayush clinical meetings using the Zoom platform, encouraging to develop critical thinking among across pathies, and we have experts from all streams who joined this clinical meeting. And the last week one, we had 700 students who joined in. We've also taken research to the next level through integrating Ayush and modern medicine, and at least 3 or 4 projects are now underway. The most important is planning some new competency courses, and for all our existing fellowship courses, we plan to start the academic bank of credits, and for that workshops for all faculty have been taken. Formats and skeleton tables are provided so that skills and competencies are mapped, created into modules, and credits are provided so that we can then subsequently move out into exits and mixing and matching. Specialty groups and committees have already been constituted. We are also looking and redesigning our existing courses and some new courses based on competency, credits, and this, so to permit easy entry and exit. For our the old MSc pharmaceutical medicine, we're even looking at making it pharmaceutical and Ayush medicine. Fellowship courses in genetics for clinicians have been redesigned, and a BSc sports science has been made with a 1-year, 2-year, 3-year option. We are seeing how to use up to 40% of teaching using online, the LMS platform, and providing this multiple entry exit. An integrated family medicine is proposed, and we've presented this at various fora. We hope to start with a 1-year fellowship course where all of them can join in, but practice the therapeutic content of it will be specific to your own pathy, but the preventive and well-being will be a common molecule taking 8 to 10 common conditions. There's upgradation of automation so that we have it completely online, our e-library, so that all students across the state will have an access to it. We've also taken forward research for public needs. So we have developed our policy for funding, and 2-3 large projects are underway. One is the Maligaon, which is nearly completed. The Blossom Tribal Research, where we've adopted 18 villages, and they are being screened across for breast, liver, osteoporosis, sickle cell, sexually transmitted diseases, osteoporosis, and malnutrition. Nasical is a project we are starting in Nasik, and we are really lucky that we are ahead of the present budget, which is giving a large thing for sickle cell. So some of the other initiatives are like the genetic and molecular lab, our chairs, and this week itself, a statewide oral health screening will be launched by the Chief Minister. MOU with other universities and research universities with specific outcomes and deliverables have been identified. We've started a summer internship program, and the first year, 144 students across pathis went to 24 institutions, and this year we hope to send 500 students to 50 institutions. And the Maligaon Magic, where again intra-pathy students came together and within 10 days did a large amount of work. And this is the Blossom project, where we have 300 students across pathis and faculties from different pathis coming together with 22 teams who are visiting a village turn by turn, and it's the data collection and sample collection is almost completed. The MOUs, as you see, with IIT Mumbai, we are looking at collaborating, especially with the Koita Digital Health Foundation, to take it forward as in a mission mode for digital health. The IIT Jodhpur, we are collaborating for Ayur Genomics. So the topics are all related to what is needed for the future. Same thing for genomics with NIBMG Kolkata, CDFD Hyderabad, BATIC in Mumbai, and we are planning our innovation hub, and so other all the national laboratories. And again, we are lucky we've done this a year before the budget announced that ICMR labs will now be opened up to universities. We're already working on projects with them. We are looking at digital technology with the Mass General Hospital and Harvard Medical School Digital Informatics Department, Loughborough for University for Sports, Microsoft, Omnicurious Australian for paramedical. IDRL genetic lab, and a host of other such things. Our gene health lab, which we've set up, is a lab with a difference, because again, we keep in sync with the aligning the education to research and public health, because we hope to be able to conduct tests for cancer markers in congenital diseases for poor patients. Today, genetics is available to the haves, not to the have-nots. Research on developing new tests for genetic disorders relevant to Indian situations and projects in genomics are being planned. Fellowship courses for scientists, technicians, and clinicians, faculty and chair professor, along with clinical genetics. And this was inaugurated, and we are hoping to start the tests in a month or so. Chairs have been established with exactly the NEP in mind for tribal health, cancer research, preventive cardiology, medical education research, and infectious diseases for the One Health concept. And we're now looking at starting another one in community ophthalmology. And to add and take the morale high and have everyone working in sync, we needed to be proud of our university. So what started with a simple cleanliness drive with the boots on the ground, I call it in the military language, where I came and started staying on the campus, and a tree plantation with drip irrigation, rainwater harvesting, and our Green Campus initiative has now got us the acronym in lighter vein of a military university of health sciences. And we've been able to create a 5 senses garden, a beautiful lake, and our whole campus has come alive, including the insights where we have, it's a student-centric with a help desk and the peacock theme, because we have natural peacocks all over the campus. So looking back, I felt that I must do a little bit of reflection that what it needs to bring about a change. One is, of course, discipline, hard work, adding skill sets with time. Myself having, that be a lifelong learner. I'm still taking on some kind of a short training in something new, whether it's in digital health, whether it's mathematical and modeling, and then use that to develop a vision. And the three T's that are important is, we all need to build and motivate a team, provide targets so that all see the goalposts, and these are aligned for national requirements for success. And today for us at all health universities, we need to align it to national goals. And then we'll start triumphing each small success together. So therefore, change is inevitable, growth is optional, is what is said. But I end with a prayer that God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I hope we can all work together to bring this. So I'd like to end this talk with that, let us understand the new education policy 2020 and its strengths that it provides. And let us all work together to plan for future professionals, because we are teachers trained in the past, teaching the present for people who will practice in the future. So we need to keep in sync with the new trends that are coming in. And therefore, each of us needs to prepare an institutional development plan on the backbone of the NEP, which is futuristic, realistic, aligned to the national goals, and aligned to cultural, societal, and local needs. We need to prioritize, as per institution goals, how we see our university or college moving. Deliverables need to be identified and clearly spelled out for the team to work together with timelines and accountability. Finally, we need a cup of tea, that is transparency, empowerment, and accountability at every minute. Thank you so much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Madam, for accepting our invitation to attend and advise us regarding this national education policy and the information about the MUHS. During your leadership for 1.5 years, I think MUHS has gone from 10% to 99%, and all credit goes to you. We are very thankful to you. And
we have a long way to go, nowhere near 99. We have just done the first, I would say 30% is done of our dreams.
And again, as I requested you yesterday, again I request you on the behalf of our chairman and management and myself, please visit our campus so that we will be more inspired to take your example of the MUHS improvement, and we will also, whatever deficiencies we have got, we will do it. Again, I thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge and for sharing your expertise. Thank you so much. The national education policy, through a suitable system of graded accreditation and graded autonomy, will ensure leadership of the highest quality and promote an institutional culture of excellence.
एक second, wait. Yes, ma'am.
We have 10 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, madam.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Again, it's a hazy picture, but mala olku ale.
So now you recognize me?
Absolutely, I recognized you even when the picture was hazy.
No problem. So actually, in my morning presentation also, I have quoted the blueprint and the effort that has been taken by MUHS, because it is very difficult task. At the MUHS level, I know how much the expanded view and how much collective efforts those are required. But that blueprint, really remarkable and Herculean task that MUHS has done. There is panel discussion, the question answer session, but our panelist, one of the member, Dr. Rita Khadkikar, professor and head physiology department at one of our medical college at Mumbai, she is like to ask some questions. She has narrated for you to answer, please.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you for the wonderful session. It was very inspiring. For the panel discussion, we had planned to pose a question for you. This is regarding NEP 2020, which talks about having the institutions which could be either research intensive, teaching intensive, or it could be teaching and research. So we just wanted to know your views, ma'am, as to how much is, applicable to the health science universities in categorizing these into these three different categories. That's one question. And the second question, ma'am, if it is applicable, what would be the difference for implementing in the state universities versus the deemed to be universities?
I think it's an excellent question, and I think it is very important to identify. And I feel health universities have to sort of either it's an independent college, so that becomes like an autonomous college. But if it has to be a university, either for a deemed university would be to form it into cluster of colleges, and that because you have under one umbrella, you have the engineering services, you have the medical, you have physio. So if you can bring all of them together under one thing and make the walls porous, permit people to understand and work with each other. For an example, if you have a course running for biotechnology in your science college, I think the biotechnologists should be coming in, either their lab time or some lectures should be shared with medical students. It not only permits people to understand, the subject, but it gives a translational element. Today, what is lacking in the country is, you see all our DBT labs. None of them have any clinical insight. So the research it's very high end. We may have a very good H index, a good citation score, but how much of them is finding solutions for India's problems? They are not. So the way to do is foster twinning and cross-pollination that's one way which deemed universities can do it very easily because most of your colleges are co-located. When it comes to the state and public universities, I think they need to move towards a healthy balance of research heavy and your teaching, because continuing all the colleges will never be able to get that autonomy, because autonomy means having your examination department papers, so there would always be a group. Maybe today we've become too large with 496, but if some of them as they mature get their feelings, can maybe break off as autonomous colleges, we would still be left with a large pool. And to use that asset to have interdisciplinary, interpathy working to find solutions would have to be, but along with that, we need knowledge creation. No knowledge is of use unless it has creation through good research. And no research in a clinical university is good unless you have teaching and clinical practice along with it. So again, the triangle of public health, or rather health, education, and research needing to work under one roof. So I think that is where we will all need to look at our universities.
Ma'am, also the funding aspect would be different probably because the public.
Funding aspect, because at the moment we are not under UGC. Otherwise, what would happen is for deemed universities, you have your own funding. For the state universities, the UGCs are funding the other universities, but the state health universities are left high and dry. We have no funding through UGC because we have no enough university departments and colleges. So we'll have to move towards that to come under Indian universities and under the same to start getting the same funding. Today we don't get DBT, DST adequate funding because the chunk of that we don't have the infrastructure to do that level. So the returns for the research money is best in the own labs of DBT, DST, ICMR. So those don't come to. So health universities today are left in the lurch without funding. So unless we reinvent ourselves and put ourselves into as to how and collaborate with these labs, which is what I am trying to do at Encourages.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request the audience, any questions for ma'am? Anybody wants to ask a question? Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure to be, because I'm sorry, but I won't be able to join the panel discussion. That is why I said I'll take questions now, because I have another meeting going on for my chairs of excellence in research. So
Thank you
that
so
will go
much.
on till at least 5, 6 o'clock.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for going into the intricacies of NEP 2020 with respect to health sciences. Thank you so much.
Welcome, my pleasure.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful session. It became even more wonderful with the spontaneous question and answer. It was brainstorming, indeed. Now we are moving towards our next brainstorming session to shed light on governance and institutional development plan for NEP implementation in health sciences. We have with us our next esteemed speaker, Dr. Vilas Sabkar sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, MGM University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Sir is an eminent scholar and academician with a doctorate in chemical engineering from IIT Bombay. He brings 36 years of rich experience in academics, administration, and research. Sir has been the chairman of National Assessment and Accreditation Council peer team. His impeccable credentials as an academician and administrator have brought him several honors, from being nominated by the President of India for selection of professor in IIT Bombay to be a visitor's nominee for selection of registrar at Central University. He has also been honored with Distinguished Service Award by Amravati University, National Education Leadership Award by Lokmat, Distinguished Speaker Award by Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers. His focus on innovative technology, training, and industrial collaboration has opened up multiple doors of opportunities for students for holistic development. His contributions in framing and implementation of new national policy 2020 are significant and benefited all the stakeholders immensely. Sir has always focused on transforming higher and professional education to empower our youth not only with relevant knowledge and skills, but also with eternal human values to lead the nation and the world towards a sustainable future. It is an extreme privilege to have you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. On the occasion of one-day conference on NEP implementation in health sciences particularly, Honorable Chancellor Ankush Rawji Kadam, Dr. P.M. Jadhav sir, Dr. Davi, Dr. Rajan Vevukar sir, Dr. Shingari sir, all heads of the department, ladies and gentlemen. As we have been talking about National Education Policy 2020, and it is very clearly mentioned that this document, when it was published, the health education, agriculture education, and law education were kept aside to be developed. Only simple reference was given, and NEP was developed. In NEP, it was very clearly mentioned that the education is focused for development, all-round development of a learner to have 21st century capabilities in integrated manner. Integrated manner to develop intellect, social, aesthetic, emotional, physical, and critical thinking of human being, so that he will be able to not only convert the opportunities, and he becomes global learner or global students. As you know that with the integration and unity of knowledge across the discipline, this institutional development is required to be now having specific applications. If you see, I will though focus on institutional development plan in order to implement NEP in also different disciplines. But the overall culture of NEP, or say soul of NEP, says that, as you know that in our country, we have 45 central universities. We have 32 NITs, National Institute of Technology. We have 23 IITs. We have 16 IIMs. We have 11 ISERs. And we have 1,000 plus universities and 40,000 plus colleges. But the enrollment at school level, we have 24 crore students enrolled in school education, but out of which only 4 crore students are coming to higher education, making only 32% gross enrollment ratio, which is expected to grow to 50% by 2030. It's a very massive jump that is expected, and how it can be done. Now, National Education Policy says that we will categorize this, our pool of talent into research-driven, teaching-driven, intensive, and autonomous degree-granting institutions. Now, this is the major change, and de-affiliation, the affiliation system will go away. That means every institution has to become multidisciplinary, offering large number of academic programs to the student. And it is said that we need to have rationalized institutional architecture in higher education. They will have the opportunity for, everyone knows about the credit transfer, credit accumulation after every year, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and it is decided that all undergraduate program would be converted into 4-year degree program, either with honors or with research. So research component has also come, 5-year integrated program, 1-year PG program, 2 years PG program, and a master's and PG program put together. How it is possible? One important aspect that has come also, that we always talk about, having none of Indian institution in top 100 in QS ranking, though the parameters are different as compared to NIRF ranking. It is mentioned that internationalization of education in order to also create one important aspect, and that is called multidisciplinary education and research university. Most of the IITs will be converted into Meru. This is the ambitious program. Now, how we can do it? It's very much possible when we talk about institutional program, institutional development plan. 2 years back, when this policy was announced, lot of activities, including all state governors conference taken under the leadership of Prime Minister, all chief secretaries, all education minister, all education secretaries, different task force were established. The ministry has given the time-bound implementation program with NEP provisions, action taken, deliverables, who is responsible and what is the outcome. This format was given and which was implemented almost in every state, including our state. It is mentioned that the institutional, as you know that this is the concurrent list, so the implementation of NEP is responsibility of central government, state government, university and colleges. Colleges still have affiliation towards university, and hence the university should have, say every college should have institutional development plan, with all put together the university will have institutional development plan, prospective plan, the state government will have prospective plan, and the central government will have prospective plan. Though AICT, when they have felt that 17 lakhs engineers are being produced every year, and it is said that we are still not fulfilling the expectation of industries in terms of competency, in terms of skill, and hence they have created the prospective plan, how much manpower is required in which field, so that we don't end up into the situation where we have surplus manpower in one field leading to unemployment, and in another field there is less opportunity for the employment. And hence institutional development plan is very important as far as three aspects are concerned. One is infrastructure development, in terms of infrastructure development to the level of international. When we are now talking about internationalization of educational standard, we want to understand that the infrastructure, whether it is IT infrastructure, human infrastructure, financial infrastructure, has to be included as a major part of our institutional development plan. If you see the policy says that light but tight regulatory framework. When we are talking about, everyone knows, Dr. Dalvi also mentioned that the 4 verticals which is responsible for accreditation, setting of the standard, also regulatory and funding. These 4 council will put together the function of light but tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity, transparency, resource efficiency. This is very crux of NEP if you want to implement NEP effectively. The resource efficiency by optimization of resources and of educational system through audit and public disclosure. The audit of individual institution is the part of institutional development plan and the governance system. Public disclosure with encouraging innovation and out-of-box ideas through autonomy, good governance and empowerment. This is the main motive of national education policy, in which it is clearly mentioned that it is very essential to have a governance system in place for every institution. It is mentioned that, as I mentioned, that the standard for private university, public university, or for that matter, any category of the institution should be of the same standard, every program, including the program which are offered on this ODL, open distance learning process. And hence, when we talk about, this is of course integration of professional education, vocational education, and of course literature, art, humanities, social sciences. The important aspect is creating, I'll just run through just recently, today morning I was attending one program of all vice chancellors in skill. I will just first share with you. National Credit Framework. Now, if you see very important aspect, every institutional development plan should have very clear vision of not only development of faculty, as it is mentioned that faculty recruitment, progress, training, and their performance is connected with a very clear policy at institutional development plan, following of course government guideline, and along with mapping of skill output. Whichever program you run, it is mentioned that whether the program is run at central university, IITs, or for that matter any university, should have a mapping which is clearly mentioned of national vocational educational program, we talk about even from this school education, where it is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, it is counting now, if you see the graph of academic axis and skill axis, where the fifth standard is given 1.0 as a scale, credit scale of skill, up to 8 with PhD. It's the educational development plan of every institution should clearly map the various programs which we are offering, the mix of the program, and also the skill axis that we need to understand. As you know that when we talk about mixing the learning with classroom teaching, lab, this is the concept for institutional development in terms of infrastructure, in terms of IT infrastructure, financial resources, human resources, and also creating its own benchmarking. With the help of educational training skill, of course, projects, online digital blending, sports and games, and as you know that examination, which is the crux of any educational. When we talk about, everyone talks about now how to count the credit and what should be the credit. As it is very clearly mentioned that when it is 3 years undergraduate program, it is well defined in Maharashtra as well as National Credit Framework that it is 120 credit, 12 credits extra it can give. Good governance at institutional plan is constitution of Board of Study, Academic Council, and institutional audit, that including of course IQAC, where we need to have this split up, whether skill-based program, ability enhancement program, value-based education, research, training, internship, and finally the credit, which will be for undergraduate 3 years, 4 years, and 4 years program, 160 credits plus 12 extra credits. So as you know that this is well defined now in association with skill education and our normal education system. But however, why I'm giving more importance on this? Because this should be the part of academic institutional development program. And we will have to understand there is some mismatch in terms of outcome. So this is National Credit Framework for Vocational Education. This is just in the morning, 52 vice chancellors contributed for development of specific framework for sharing credit for skill development. Everyone talks about competency-based education or outcome-based education, so that every school student should be also, when he comes out of the school, he should have at least one skill having his competency. So school education, higher and technical education, vocational education, academic, and of course, it goes with experiential learning. This gives you a very clear picture about academic band, hours of learning, 1 hour of credit learning, because it varies. When we talk about academic flexibility, it should be also part of our plan in order to give whether it is NSQF level 8 for PhD, and of course, then you have PG program and you have UG program. So this is very clearly now should be understood. Unless we have this in place in our institutional development plan academic programs, every program, what we offer, because our objective is to give a very high quality education, which is also a mix of major and minor, major and major, major and dual program, and of course twinning program, and also giving 2 simultaneous programs. It also talks about, Academic Bank of Credit. All the institutions are now already member of Academic Bank of Credit. Most of the students, it was discussed that whether it is 7 years or 3 years, and whether it is lifelong learning. It was discussed at length when the credits are to be saved in Academic Bank of Credit for 7 years. He or she can, of course, come back within 3 years. And this is, of course, you have to give academic council of every institution, which is a part of, again, academic development program, should have the system called equivalence, and also entry criteria. It's not that simple that anybody can join any program. So basically equivalence, institute specific and subject specific equivalence is required. Uh, of course, every institution, as you know that every university should establish school of education. School of education is not only of just Bachelor of Education, which is now 4 years program, and teachers training program, but the School of Education has separate identity in every university. And this will have multiple inputs, not only for engineering faculty or for, you name it, every faculty will have opportunity to go through the School of Education. 4 years program, faculty training program, and which will be the part of institutional development plan. The governance system will, of course, this is UG equivalent to this which I mentioned. So basically, when we talk about planning at institute level, it is the combination of programs, giving the core credits to the major, options to the student for major and minor, for dual degree program. These are the concept of institutional development plans for academics. As far as quality assurance is concerned, examination is concerned, of course, formative, continuous formative assessment program, and it is also in out of box. When we make out of box, the concept is coming that for every class, there will be 3 different types of question papers of different degree of difficulty. The students are given option to choose the different question paper of his liking as well as his interest. And it will be also given the various parameters in terms of weightage. Similarly, it is also said that you decide your own question paper. The students are given opportunity to design own question paper of the standard. Of course, it is very clearly mentioned that when somebody goes for internship, it doesn't that he goes to the industry and come back. So it is a monitoring mechanism of the deliverables out of the internship. And hence, when we talk about hackathon, example like hackathon, where the students are coming out with very innovative solutions to the existing problems, long pending problems. So the students are coming out with only the innovative solutions, and that is getting converted into startup. It is also mentioned that when we talk about PhD, there is also the National Research Foundation which is supporting research activities or research peer-reviewed research project, that every research project should, or PhD thesis should result into a startup in terms of concept, in terms of whether technology, patents, and so on. So basically, if you talk about the outcome in terms of global ranking, institutional development plan should have 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years, the long-term planning, in which a realistic, a doable planning is required in terms of creating its own standard. It is not whether it is mentioned in, this is a broad framework which is given by NEP. But as you know that institution can now couple the programs of engineering and technology, calling medical technology, pharmaceutical technology, biomedical engineering. For that matter, there are plenty of, like just now madam mentioned about biomedical engineering and so on. So basically, it is truly interdisciplinary. The walls are not required to be only porous, but should be also broken down in order to share the knowledge and in true sense, unity and integrity of knowledge across the discipline. And hence, when we talk about achieving the goals of not only meeting 50% of GR or enhancing employability, or for that matter, becoming multidisciplinary through integrated teacher education, or for becoming more of research-oriented, or achieving global ranking. As you know that global universities are expected to have their campuses in our country, and yesterday there was a question that what will happen to our university? If we are able to face the competition in terms of standard, because it is only 3 factors which is also focusing on institutional development plan. One is have your own innovative curriculum. Second, which is very, very important, is you have your own set of standards and goals, and expecting your credibility in terms of, it is very clearly mentioned, the guideline recently which is given for institutional development plan says that recruitment of professionals, 50% of the teaching should be done by the professionals from different fields, and of course practicing professor is also the concept which is now becoming very popular. Fast track promotion system for teachers, audits of the of programs and campuses, upgradation of physical infrastructure for effective teaching and learning. Not only these programs, that feedback system, the institutional development plan should have a very good mechanism to get the feedback system on teacher, on programs, and on the institution. As it is very clearly mentioned that when we are integrating engineering, bioengineering, biotechnology, then it is becoming truly balance between all faculty together. It is also mentioned that the draft which is propagating is creating academic and infrastructure standard of global standard. As you know that we are also in a good situation for using technology. Today, if we see that there are a lot of technological tools and systems available, including AI, and every university in the development plan, there should be academic intelligence, which will define the our new programs and analysis new program. I'm sure that NEP is going to give us a new way forward to create the competent, all-round, human resource who are capable, who are equipped with skill, knowledge, and ability to convert opportunities, challenges into opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for all these evolving concepts. As we all know, a good discussion increases the dimensions of everyone who takes part. Here we move forward to our panel discussion. Now I request our esteemed speakers to step on the dais for the panel discussion. Dr. P.H. Shingare, sir, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences, deemed to be University, Karan. Dr. Rajan Velukar, sir, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Atlas Skill Tech University. Dr. Shashank Dalvi, sir, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, MGM Institute of Health Sciences, Navi Mumbai. And Dr. Vilas Sapkar, sir, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, MGM University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. I also request Dr. Rita Khadkekar, ma'am, IQSC Coordinator, MGM Institute of Health Sciences, to step on the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, sir. Good afternoon to all the panelists on the dais, the audience who are attending offline, as well as all the participants who are attending online. So Myself, Dr. Rita Khadkikar. I am the University IQAC Coordinator of MGM Institute of Health Sciences, and I will be the moderator for the session. And we go forward with the questions to the panelists. So the rule would be that I would be asking a question to a specific panelist. So it will be directed to any one particular panelist, but the other panelists, if they want to add, you're welcome. And we will also be sending the mic across to the audience here. So if you have any questions, you can put your questions forward. So we'll have to also keep a track of time. So I would be directing the first question to Dr. Ranjan Velukar sir. Sorry, Rajan Velukar sir. So this is about, NEP talks about multidisciplinarity. So I would like to understand, how do discipline-specific institutions, so we have these nursing institutions, physiotherapy institutions, which are the higher education with a specific discipline, how they can be involved in integrating multidisciplinarity in their curriculum, and would this be beneficial to the healthcare system at large?
I start with a story, and the story is, I met one of the Nobel laureate, and who got a Nobel Prize, who did his graduation in physical education. We do this physical education. He did bachelor's degree in physical education, who was an international athlete, participated in Olympics, and then he did MSc in biochemistry. And then he started doing his research, and when he completed his research, continued doing further research. One fine morning he received a call, and then he received a Nobel Prize. When I met him, I asked him this question. In our country, physical education is the last priority. If you don't get admission here and there, and you go to physical education. He did that, but he got a Nobel Prize. When I asked him, how did you get it, and what is the reason of getting that particular result, then he narrated me that I used 6 different disciplines in finding whatever I could find, on which I have got the Nobel Prize. On that result, I have got the Nobel Prize. See, his example is, only one discipline is not going to give you any result which is going to resolve the problems of the society, humanity. Yesterday I was talking to the principal of physiotherapy, and they have got a project on pain management. And then just I was talking to her that this pain management research, whatever she is going to do, she will have to use multiple disciplines, and approaches of multiple discipline will have to be brought into the pain management result. And then I just said that you will have to use the mathematical models in that pain management to find or to get the results. So it is not only the pain management from the medical perspective, but it is the mathematical model which she may have to create, where she will have to use multiple disciplines, because they are interrelated with each other. I read some research paper in this, where I found that they have used the mathematical modeling in understanding pain management. And therefore, now we don't have any any alternative than accepting multidisciplinarity, then only we will be able to achieve whatever we are going to achieve. Because the pain management is related to psychology, the psychiatry, then the mathematical modeling, the anatomy. These are the basic disciplines. The society, the environment, the stress and strain which you are getting from there, the environment at your home, the environment at outside. So what are the parameters for that? You will have to understand those parameters and then you will be able to. And therefore, this is very, very relevant what we are talking.
Thank you, sir,
Today.
for that
Thank you.
example where you're talking about how this pain management can be integrated with a mathematician, creating a mathematical model to see the impact or the outcome of the pain management. Thank you, sir. My next question is directed to Dr. Vilas Sapkal, sir. Sir, NEP, as you mentioned in your talk as well, that is, we have the light but tight framework of governance. Because they're talking about providing autonomy to the higher education institutions as well as to the teachers to think out of the box and bring about the change in the curriculum. So the autonomy is provided, which is called as light, but we are having a tight framework where we are going to be accountable and we have to be transparent and the integrity has to be seen. So what are your views on that and how much is applicable to the health sciences?
According to me, freedom, autonomy comes with accountability, freedom, but of course commitment. And as you know that it has to be used with a great sense of responsibility. As you know that in IIT, it was for last 60 years, they have very successfully implemented autonomy because the question paper is set in front of student and checked in front of student and also discuss about his performance. No argument, it's a matter of great faith in the system. So when we talk about now creating so many institutions, thousands and thousands of institutions with autonomy, they need to achieve that degree of responsibility, seriousness, and I'm sure that teachers can do that. I believe in that teachers once given the freedom, autonomy to think, to teach as per their space, because it is required. As I mentioned that in the classroom, you have very talented student, average student, slow learner. The teacher has to now decide his space of teaching. Who can give only concept to the student, who can understand even the application. The average student, he can explain the proof of concept also. And along with all application, he can give to the slow learner so that the concept is percolated through him. So I'm sure that even if it is tight, but in true sense, it is light as far as teachers are concerned, because teachers, otherwise the curriculum is decided by the university and the teachers has to complete that curriculum within that framework, so many lectures. So he only takes the lectures, he doesn't teach us. So it is by participative and it is to be with more case studies, real world problems, and also high quality home assignments will really make student to come out of the ideas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insight. My next question is directed to Dr. Shashank Dalvi, sir. So, NEP talks about integration. Basically, one of the challenges was that the education system is more fragmented. And as Madam also said that, we need to make it more porous. And Sapkal sir said that not only porous, but we need to break those barriers or those walls. But sir, my question is like, it's a huge challenge to the institutes, because if you see the curriculum is becoming so vast with so much of generation of new knowledge. Like for example, so I would take my own discipline. Physiology was just one subject along with biochemistry, but there's so much addition of new knowledge to both physiology and biochemistry that they've become two separate subjects. So now if we want to integrate, to what extent we can integrate it, sir? How much is possible, and how is it applicable to the health sciences?
Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So there are two parts of your question. The one regarding the porosity in between the various different disciplines. And then when the advancement is there in a particular subject, how much it should be included into that. Regarding the first question, as that is also the part which Dr. Rajan Vilukar sir have just answered, the problems in the society in any field, those are to be solved by the universities. And if universities are solving that particular problems don't come that is the problem of one particular discipline. The same example what I will take the pain management. The pain management, different disciplines, those are required, and then that particular problem is there. So if we want to find the solution, the study of all these subjects, different disciplines, in any problem, any one particular discipline is not able to find out the solution. All the disciplines have to come together and find out the solution. So this porousness, up to what extent, problem solving extent, even forgetting our departmental egos. At present, each department is considering that department is superior, and these particular walls in between the various disciplines, the departments, these are more and more becoming rigid. That rigidness should vanish. Problem solving should be the aim, the objective of the all faculty that is coming together. And then leaving aside our departmental importance, what can be the best solution for the problem? So everyone should concentrate on that particular problem. So multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and even forgetting our department as such, that will be the transdisciplinary actual solution for that particular problem. That is to be done. Now coming to the second part, how much is to be taught, how much is to be not. What exactly we are preparing for the student? Outcome-based education, what exactly the task expected from that particular graduates. So all that knowledge that is necessary for that particular task, that is to be taught. We put many things into the syllabus. There are those things into the syllabus, what we have learned, in whole lifetime the students are not going to practice those particular things, what they have learned. So all the things that are necessary to work in that particular their life, the job, the duty, the task they have to perform. So all those things are to be well identified, and those are to be included into the syllabus. Rest of the things, whatever may be the advancement of the knowledge, that is not necessary. If the student wants that particular knowledge, he is aware of from where they can get that particular knowledge, and he can learn that particular knowledge, because everybody ultimately is lifelong learner. Student means learner, and so all those are lifelong learner. If required, then that knowledge can be got. But in teaching, teacher should not put all the things into the lecture which the teacher is aware about whatever the new advancement and something, because that is not needed for the student. What is needed for the student, what exactly the student want to do after the graduation, that much knowledge student should know, that should be carefully monitored, that should be carefully seen. Unnecessary knowledge should not be put on the teacher.
Thank you, sir.
My thought, sir. Sir, you want to add anything? Huh?
So it's really important because integration is probably helping us to find better solutions. So we cannot live in our own shells, we need to break the walls. And as sir said, we need to find out and tailor make it as per the requirement. There's no particular extent. So my next question is directed to Dr. Praveen Shingare, sir. So we talk about the value-based education, NEP talks about that, and as per the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is based on quality education, we are not only talking about quality in the concepts or the conceptual or cognitive domain, they're talking about quality in the spiritual aspect, the values that we need to inculcate, the spiritual, ethical, social values. So how much is possible, sir? Because we already have a huge curriculum and we are having so many areas to work on, so many areas to be explored. So what are your views on that, sir?
Today's faculty, they all are postgraduates in their own subjects, and they don't have any other knowledge of other subjects. That's why they can teach only one subject. So to have a holistic approach or the other spirituality and emotions to be added in the academics, the main thing is that there are two ways. One is to have additional faculty, but that will overburden. We can't afford that. So it is better to organize the faculty development programs and explain small modules of these other values to those faculties. So one faculty, one module, another faculty, another module. So there is nothing like a overburden on the faculty. And like that a faculty with a single module in that institution will cover that value in entire university. In that way, I think without spending much, we can inculcate the values in the students, and more faculty can be involved here. So faculty development program, administrative development program, these are the programs with short modules. That is the only solution to achieve what you say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Also, I just want to mention, sir, that even for the audience, we have this UGC. If you go to the website, when you log in UGC, in the tab, there is something called as e-books, where, as sir said, we already have modules which have been given by UGC, quality mandate modules. And for value inculcation, we have Mulya Pravaha and Jeevan Kaushal, as well as the student orientation program, which is called Diksharam. It's a beautiful book to read, very small. So I just request you all to go through that if you want to inculcate the value system of these various kinds among the students. So my next question is to Dr. Vilas Sapkal, sir. So this is about the academic bank of credits. So we are talking about how beneficial it is to have this academic bank of credits, especially for the student, but it's quite a challenge for the institutes. At our university, sir, MGM Institute of Health Sciences, we have registered with the DG Locker, and we have uploaded approximately around 7,000 degrees and approximately around 3,000 mark sheet. But still, sir, the students have to be sensitized that they also need to register, so that then their credits can be put there, and then the credit transfer can happen. But sir, with this, it's still in the initial stage, but unless the credits are put in that credit bank, the transfer and, if he goes to some other institution, won't happen. So this has to be taken up in a very big way. So what are your thoughts on that, sir?
Very relevant question. Last few months, there was very extensive discussion on this facility across the country, that all the institutions are made compulsory to register in academic bank of credit, or student at the time of admission itself, he should register with academic bank of credit, because whatever credits he will earn, he will have to deposit through his higher education institution. So the student should be made aware what is this academic bank of credit, what are the benefits, how he can redeem or reuse his credits. But when he or she wants to use it, there should be, of course, academic equivalence. It is not the value. It is also, along with that, it is also bringing the knowledge what he has gained through that credit. So in health sciences particularly, if they are interchangeable programs or curriculum, or he can use it for gaining more knowledge of different discipline with the equivalence, yes, the students are made to more and more sensitize. But that I feel that during the induction program at the first year, students should be made aware of this, not only compulsory, but what are the benefits that they can. It's a great matter of flexibility. In our university, we have realized that in the fourth semester, we are given one open elective. And we will be we are very surprised to see that many engineering students are keen in taking not only foreign languages, but also photo, film, fashion design. So in fact, I mentioned that your talent and your interest is in this field. But because of many factors, you have taken admission in engineering. He could have excelled in this field if he has chosen it as a main course. But this credit transfer, even here also we are giving for institutional changes also. So the students are benefited due to this credit transfer for pursuing his knowledge as per his interest and talent. I'm sure.
Thank you, sir. Sir, also NEP is talking about, there is going to be equal weightage for the curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular. There wouldn't be any change. So probably they could explore their own areas of interest and grow in that.
Very correct, because you have mentioned out of 160 credits, there are credits, 8 credits are kept on ability enhancement, then skill development, then value-based education, internship, and research. So these 5 categories along with major and minor.
Okay, sir.
So it's really good combination, innovative combination of credits, so that he or she can really go into the different. So I'm sure that someone is interested in performing arts, someone is interested, and that is necessary. Only 2 days back, I came back from Singapore. I have seen there every student have so many activities other than his own activities, that NAFA, I have visited, National Nandan Academy of Performing Arts. So they get student across the whole Singapore, and they run in the morning, evening, and they say that it is good for your talent to be developed as a good professional. A good doctor can be a good singer, a good engineer can be a good a painter. Who is a very good painter can also make a good design. So they think that design thinking goes with art and languages as well. So I'm sure that will be.
Thank you so much, sir.
One more thing, that they have made it compulsory to visit various gardens created in Singapore. They have created the universal garden of whole world. So they can see the ecosystem, environmental system, environmental changes, and pharmaceuticals. So good.
Wow. Any questions from the audience? Anybody would like to ask any questions? So we can pass on the mic. You can please raise your hand. Anybody who would like to ask any question? Yes. Can you please raise your hand so that we can give you the mic?
Good evening, sir. I am from Mass Communication and Journalism. As the new education policy says that in first year they have the option, students. After first year they can change the major. They have given an option that after first year they can change their major. So while designing or making the curriculum, when we are designing the new syllabus, what will be the degree name then? In what level he will be entering in the degree? Like generally we have programs like we have BA Journalism and Mass Communication, BA Fine Arts. So what will be the degree now when he will be taking admission? Or it will be a common degree that will be Bachelor of Arts?
Whom is this directed to? Any panelist you would like to?
Verudkar sir can give the answer. Because we are in phase of preparing the new curriculum, so for that we are asking.
Yeah, good, thank you. See, always if there is a difficult question, this is not a difficult question for me, but I am just telling you, whenever the doubt arises, and when we feel that it is difficult, then you just simplify. In the simplest manner, you can answer this question yourself. So now, he or she is doing a 4-year degree program. Okay? And after a year, he or she is going to decide what major he or she wants to do. It is very simple. The major portion of your degree program, one should study in the core discipline. In the core discipline. Now, what is the credit which you should earn out of that core? Is 60%. Okay. So suppose you are doing 20 credit every semester. out of 20 credit, 12 credits has to be from core. And for 8 semesters, you just calculate how many credit 60 credit comes to. And then 60% of the credit in the core subject. Doesn't matter about other things. So it is the major, it is the minor track, which is related to your discipline, core discipline. Then you are doing something else which is maybe other than your disciplines, maybe music and other thing which he is talking. And the fourth portion which the NEP says is life skills. With that, there is no compromise. For getting a degree in which you want to get graduated, no compromise with that. So it is divided into 4 parts. So first year, why it has been given? So that after 12th standard, you really don't know, because your friend has joined, you have joined. And therefore, for the maturity, it takes little more time. And therefore, to give time for that maturity, orient you, let the buffet be on your table, buffet be organized, then you are observing this, that, testing this, and then deciding, oh, no, this is not for me, this is for me, or this bunch of things are for me, and then I should eat this, and I should continue with that. That is what the new education policy expects. So don't get confused that if you are learning 6 subjects and 6 into 4, 24 courses if you are learning, you are not going to do 24 courses which are very, very different. You will not get a degree. How will you, which degree we will give you? And therefore remember that core. Forget about NEP for your own life. If you read a book written by, I don't remember his name, but he talks about disciplined minds. So 5 minds of future. In that 5 minds of future, he is talking about that. Your own discipline has to be, you must be 100% in your own discipline. And then the other disciplines you need. वरण भात भाजी पोळी चटणी है ना, वरण भात खाल्लं तरी पोट भरतं, पण वरण भात भाजी पोळी चटणी वगैरे खातो ना आपण, तसंच आहे ते. ठीक आहे? You understand Marathi, I hope. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And in addition to that, the degree nomenclatures are decided based on what you call major credits. So it will be BA. Like for example, now engineering also they are saying that why we should call BTech civil engineering, BTech electrical. It should only give BTech. He is a bachelor of engineering, BE or technology. So depending upon his competency, he has interest. He has taken more civil engineering subject. There are civil and electrical combination also now, electronic and computer science also. So there is a nomenclature is also decided based on your major subjects.
Just what the sir have mentioned in his morning session, the lecture, that I remembered and I want to reiterate that. That is particularly the envision in the future, the question that you have raised, this core, elective and all that. This question is likely to come in future. That is for the all health professional programs or the professional programs, particularly science stream. What is required is physics, chemistry, biology. Now really for the science stream or particularly for these professional programs, NEP is not applicable to professional program what we are discussing because these are kept aside. But all other educational systems are under NEP, the science, arts and commerce. So out of all these, what should be the minimum criteria for the professional programs and clear thinking at the council level, the churning, that is the envision of this particularly today's discussion and all that. So 8, 9, 10, 11, all this particularly what is the requirement that at the council level should come out so that that will be available for the students and that are later on after completion of 12th there should not be any problem in them in selecting that this particular subject you have taken, you have not taken and all that. So this particular planning and pre-planning is required at the professional council level as well as all the councils which are in the general education stream, all that the churning and the thinking that is required very meticulously so that the students of our country will not suffer.
Thank you, sir. So we would like to, yes, sir? You want to say something, sir?
Just I want to share one of my experience about the strength of interdisciplinary knowledge. Maharashtra government established the Maharashtra Acupuncture Council, and I was told as a director to suggest the name for the president. I was not knowing any person in the field of acupuncture. I asked somebody and collected 8 names. With that file, I went to Mantralaya. While entering in the office, the attendant saw that. And he said, sir, what is this? I said, acupuncture. Sir, please add the name of, he said the name of Behramji as 9th. There was no problem for me. So I added the name of Behramji as a 9th because minister was the authority to decide to whom to be selected. File went to the clerk. Clerk said, I am the patient of Behramji. He ticked that. Went to the deputy secretary. He said, I am the patient of Behramji. He ticked that. Then he went to the joint secretary. He said, I am the patient of Behramji. He ticked that. The file went to secretary. She also said, I am the patient of Behramji. Tick that. Went to the state minister, Ravindra Chauhan, who today he is a cabinet minister. He said, I am a patient. Tick. And finally went to the deputy chief minister. He said, I am patient. Tick. Then went to the secretary, chief minister, and Devendra Fadnavis sir, he was the chief minister, and he also said, I am a patient. He took that. I was wondering, and sir, in my life, this was the fastest moving file in the Mantralaya, which I saw in 25 years. Morning started and evening signature of the chief minister. Otherwise, sir, you know how much time every table, every desk takes in the Mantralaya. Then I was wondering, who is this fellow? Who is this fellow? Then I decided to meet him. I took his address from the same attendant. I went to him. Of course, it took 3 days for me to take his appointment. And then I said, who are you? What is your basic degree? Because this is Acupuncture Council of Maharashtra. He said, I am a MBBS. I said, MBBS, what you are doing in acupuncture? And then he said, this is what, that is what he explained. Then I asked him the question, why you wasted 5 years in a medical college? His answer was, to understand the importance of cross-pathies, to understand the importance of the acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, suyog, the basic knowledge, core subject knowledge was essential. And that is the reason, with that, then I entered in other parties, breaking the wall. Sir, you are using the word porosity. It is so if we do not break the wall, they will break the wall. So before they breaking the wall and damaging, I think we should break the wall and go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So in a lighter vein, he has given a wonderful answer, but in a lighter vein. So if you want your files to move faster, all ministers should be patient.
So we will, a last question posed to all the panelists, and I just give 1 minute to all the panelists to answer this question. It will be a common question for all of you. So like they talk about, oh sorry ma'am.
सर माझा क्वेश्चन असं जनरल आहे की भारतामध्ये जर आपण सकाळपासून चर्चा करतोय स्कूल एज्युकेशनचं जर आपण घेतलं तर अगदी बिनछताच्या शाळेपासून अनएडेड मग तुमच्या ICC CBSE गव्हर्मेंट स्कूल जिल्हा परिषद स्कूल किंवा एकदम वाड्या वस्तीवरची स्कूल अशा ठिकाणी जर इम्प्लिमेंटेशन करायचं असेल आपल्याला NEPचं आणि सेम थिंग आपल्या सगळ्या महाविद्यालय युनिव्हर्सिटी या सगळ्याचे आहे तर हे सक्सेस तुम्ही ॲज अ स्टॉलवर्ड या क्षेत्रातले सक्सेस कसं बघताय NEPचं आणि दुसरं त्याला लागून हा क्वेश्चन आहे की या सगळ्या म्हणजे ICC बोर्ड असेल तर तिथं टीचर्सला तसं ट्रेनिंग मिळेल पण जर बिनछताची शाळा असेल तर त्याचं ट्रेनिंगचा काय पार्ट आहे आपल्या NEPमध्ये, आणि या सगळ्या शिक्षकांसाठी जर गव्हर्मेंटला पे स्केल असेल एखाद्या टीचरचा, तर या सगळ्या शिक्षकांसाठी पे स्केलची काय व्यवस्था आहे NEPमध्ये?
मला मंत्रीच बनायला लागेल तुमच्या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर द्यायला. ॲक्च्युली डिफिकल्टीज आर देअर. प्रश्न आहेत. पॉलिसी मेकर्सला याच्याबद्दल खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये विचार करून ॲक्शन प्लॅन तयार करायला लागेल. पण आपल्याला हातात हात धरून ग्रामीण परिसरामधल्या लोकांना चालणार नाही. कारण आमच्या जनरेशन किंवा आमच्या पूर्वीच्या जनरेशनने बिना छताच्या शाळेमधून शिक्षण घेऊन पण ते कुलगुरू झालेत किंवा अजून काय काय मोठे मोठे लोक झालेत. आणि त्याच्यामुळे एकीकडे तुमच्या प्रश्नांची उत्तरं देण्यासाठी गव्हर्मेंटल एजन्सीजला एक मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये ॲक्शन प्लॅन, बजेटरी प्रोव्हिजन, क्रिएटिंग इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर, या सगळ्या गोष्टी करायला लागतील. त्या करण्यासाठी त्यांच्या पाठीमागे सातत्याने आपल्यासारख्या लोकांना लागायला लागेल, ज्याला आपण इंटरव्हेन्शन स्ट्रॅटेजी म्हणू. तरी परंतु आपण इकडे एक हे होत असताना दुसरीकडे आपल्याला हातात हात धरून चालणार नाही. आपल्याला काही ना काहीतरी इनोव्हेशन करून आपला तो मुलगा तिथपर्यंत पोहोचेल हे बघण्यासाठी प्रयत्नशील राहायला लागेल. आणि त्याच्यात बऱ्याचशा अंशी आपल्याला टेक्नॉलॉजी एक वरदान ठरते आहे. म्हणजे जर माझी इच्छाच असेल ते शिक्षण घेण्याची, तर मला आज टेक्नॉलॉजीच्या माध्यमातून एकदम स्वस्त दरामध्ये काय शिकायचं आहे ते मी शिकू शकतो. जे मला अजूनही वर्गामध्ये, म्हणजे आता मी तुम्हाला दाखवू शकत नाही, माझ्याकडे जे व्हिडिओज आहेत ते अतिशय सुंदर प्रकारचे व्हिडिओज जे 3 डायमेन्शनमध्ये तुम्हाला एक्सपिरियन्स देतात. असे 3 डायमेन्शनमधले एक्सपिरियन्सेस जे देणारे सॉफ्टवेअर आहेत, बरेचसे फुकटमध्ये आहेत. त्यांच्या माध्यमातून आपल्याला आपला प्रवास सुरू ठेवायला लागेल. आणि मी तुम्हाला एक उदाहरण देतो. एक होल इन द वॉल, होल म्हणजे खड्डा, इन द वॉल, हे प्रोजेक्ट 2000 सालापूर्वी राबवण्यात आलं. एका गावामध्ये ॲपल की ते कोणत्या कंपनी कम्प्युटरचे प्रोग्राम्स द्यायचे, नाही मायक्रोसॉफ्ट नाही, ॲपल किंवा अशी कंपनी होती. सुगाता मोहित्रा नावाचे ग्रस्त होते, त्या कंपनीमध्ये काम करायचे 2000 पूर्वी. त्यांनी एका ग्रामीण परिसरामध्ये जाऊन, त्या मुलांकडे काहीच नाही आहे, छत नाही आहे, पण ते शिक्षण घ्यायची इच्छा आहे, तर त्यांनी तिथे जाऊन त्या ग्रामपंचायतीच्या ऑफिसच्या भिंतीवर एक थोडंसं वॉलमध्ये हे छिद्र केलं, मोठं खड्डा केला, आणि तिथे कॉम्प्युटर ठेवून दिलं. आणि ते कॉम्प्युटरला कॉम्प्युटर तिथे ठेवून दिलं. कोणालाही नेमलं नाही आणि तो दूर जाऊन उभा राहिला. पहिल्या दिवशी त्या ठिकाणी एकही मुलगा आला नाही, दुरूनच बघितलं. दुसऱ्या दिवशी त्या शाळेत जाणारे मुलं जवळच येऊन पाहायला लागले काय आहे. तिसऱ्या दिवशी एक मुलगा आला, काहीतरी त्याला हात लावायला लागला, त्या कीबोर्डला हात लावला, इकडे तिकडे केलं, आणि अशी ती जर्नी सुरू झाली. एकाला हात लावताना हिंमत आली, असे येत गेले. आणि त्यांनी त्याच्यामध्ये प्रोग्राम टाकले होते की ज्याच्यामध्ये कोणची भाषा नाही, फक्त चित्रमय एज्युकेशन देण्याचा प्रयत्न करत होते. आणि मग त्यांना ते स्वतःहून ते शिकलेत. except the infrastructure which was available to them. कोणी त्यांना शिकवलं नाही, पण ते कॉम्प्युटर ऑपरेट करायला शिकले, स्वतः त्याच्यामध्ये चित्र बनवायला लागले. That is what the learning is. So if we create this kind of small opportunities, I think नाहीतर आपणच मागे राहू. आपल्याला काय त्यांची ते गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया काय करेल, स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट काय करेल याच्या भानगडीत न पडता आपण काय करू शकतो. अनेक वर्ष तर काय होतं ते आपल्या सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे. म्हणून दर 5 वर्षी सरकारच बदलून टाकायचं. म्हणजे हे NEP मध्ये नाही आहे. पण आपल्याला आपण बदलत राहायला पाहिजे, आपल्या हातामध्ये. आणि जगामध्ये लोकांनीच बदल घडवलेले आहेत. कोणी काही सरकार वगैरे बदलत नाही घडवत, लोक बदल घडवतात. आणि आपण करायला पाहिजे. एकीकडे सरकारकडे मागत राहायला पाहिजे, दुसरीकडे आपण आपले इनोव्हेशन्स करत राहायला पाहिजे, असं मला वाटतं.
Thank you, sir. So the last take-home message, sir. Everyone will get 1 minute, just to one take-home message for all the audience here as to how they're going to implement one important thing that they need to take back home. I request to start with Vilas Sapkal, sir. Yes, sir, please.
माझा शेवटचा मेसेज आहे, म्हणजे त्यांनी सांगितल्यामुळे, म्हणजे आज इथे उपलब्ध आहे म्हणून शेवटचा, अदरवाईज माझ्या आयुष्यातलं शेवटचं नाही आहे. सो माझे भविष्य माझ्या हातात आहे.
Thank you, sir.
Pursue creativity, and creativity is the product of conflict of ideas. So always challenge yourself, create ideas, engage in conflict of ideas, you will become creative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All our faculty, particularly of the nursing and the physiotherapy, are maximum in present. What is important is learning by your student, more important than teaching. You have given the best lecture, but the student not have followed anything. So that is not useful class. You have taught to the students, so learning outcome-based education, so learning of that particular class.
म्हणजे त्यांच्या व्हॅल्यूची पातळीकडे. आणि मी होपलेस टीचर ही संज्ञा वापरली, तर दॅट इज द डिफरन्स. सो ट्राय टू इम्प्रूव्ह द लेवल ऑफ द व्हॅल्यू.
Thank you, sir.
पण त्यांनी ते तुम्ही होपलेस म्हटलं, त्यांनी उलटं वाचलं, लेस होप.
Thank you so much for the insight. This is one NEP has given us a chance to redesign and restructure our curriculum. So let's go ahead with this. Thank you all the panelists for the wonderful discussion. I hand over the mic to Vaidehi. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, all the esteemed panel members and Rita ma'am. It was absolutely spontaneous and informative session. I request Rita ma'am to please be seated. And now I would like to invite respected Principal, MGM School of Physiotherapy, Dr. Rinkle Malani ma'am, for the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks on this enlightening occasion. We at Mahatma Gandhi Mission are sincerely committed towards quality education and 360 development of learners. Through this national level conference on NEP 2020, we have paid our contribution towards empowering the academicians and learners for a bright and sustainable future. With this conference, we intended to grasp the unique perspectives of the NEP policy 2020 to analyze its implications in health education sector and to enhance the competency of teachers through a new pedagogy. Since morning, 5 insightful sessions along with a spontaneous panel discussion have unveiled the framework of NEP 2020. Honorable Vice Chancellor, MHS Nashik, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanetkar ma'am, with her virtual presence and subsequent informative session, has made us aware about the effective ways of implementing NEP to state and public health universities. We are extremely grateful to have your distinguished presence. Dr. Praveen Shingare Sir, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Krishna Vishwavidyapeeth, deemed to be university. Sir has shed light on the sustainable and value-based nature of the NEP. Thank you, sir, for your illuminating words and gracious presence. Dr. Rajan Vedukar Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Atlas Skill Tech University, has elaborated higher education as multidisciplinary institution and highlights of holistic learning. Sir, you have actually broadened our concepts about the holistic learning, and we ensure that we will brainstorm these concepts further and inculcate them. Thank you so much for this multifaceted, informative session. Dr. Shashank Darvi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, MGM IHS Navi Mumbai, Sir has decoded the role of health science institutions in alignment of NEP. This has made us aware that our role as healthcare academicians for smoother implementation of national education policy in healthcare. We are indebted to you, sir, for your precious knowledge and time. Dr. Vilas Sapkar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, MGM University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Sir has explained the institutional development plan for successful implementation. Sir, this is going to be helpful for all our stakeholders as you have shown the direction for our efforts. Thank you for your valuable insights and precious time. We have been fortunate enough to have a spontaneous panel discussion under the effective moderation of Dr. Rita Kharkikar ma'am. This panel discussion has solved the queries and doubts of our delegates and also stimulated their brains for critical thinking. On behalf of organizing committee, I extend my sincere thanks to our patrons, Honorable Shri Kamal Kishorji Kadam, Chairman, MGM Trust, Honorable Shri Ankush Raoji Kadam Sir, Honorable Secretary, MGM Trust, Honorable Dr. P.M. Jadhav Sir, Vice Chairman, MGM Trust. We all are growing and flourishing under your shadows. Thank you for your strong and powerful vision and guidance. I'm extremely grateful to the members of Advisory Committee, Dr. Rajendra Bohra, Dean, MGM Medical College and Hospital, Dr. Praveen Suryavanshi Sir, Honorable Deputy Dean, Dr. Rajesh Goyal, Registrar, MGM IHS, Dr. Ashish Kadekar, Registrar, MGM University, Dr. Aparna Kakkar, Director and Medical Superintendent, MGM Medical College and Hospital, Dr. Sudeep Kade, Professor Terna Public Charitable Physiotherapy College, Dr. Seema Singh, Principal cum Professor, Srimati Rajki Bai Megha Memorial College of Nursing. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. I thank the principals and faculty members of MGM School of Physiotherapy, MGM Institute of Physiotherapy, Mother Teresa College of Nursing, MGM Institute of Nursing Education for being the pillars of this successful event. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated committees and volunteers, including faculty and students. They have been on their toes throughout. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank our transportation, accommodation partners, IT team, MGM Salt, MGM Canteen for the hospitality they have been offering to our esteemed guests and delegates. At the end, I would take this opportunity to thank our nuclear counterparts, Mrs. Prerna Dalvi Ma'am, Administrative Head of both the physiotherapy colleges and nursing college, Dr. Rajesh Kadam Sir, Deputy Registrar, MGM IHS, for joining hands to organize this dream conference whose seats embedded in a simple discussion. Thank you to all for making this event a great success. Thank you so much. I would like to call Vaibhavi for further instructions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to request honorable trustees and the members of organizing committees to step up the dais for a group photograph. And I request delegates to be seated on your seats till the group photograph. Honorable trustees, kindly step the dais, and the members of all the organizing committees, kindly step on the dais for group photograph.
मॅडम आम्ही खाली यायचं का
Ganesh bro, Ganesh bro.
Thank you, everyone. I request the delegates to collect their certificates at the registration counter at the entrance. Also, they can have the high tea through the second exit door, which is on your left. So high tea is arranged, and you can collect your certificates at the registration counter. Thank you so much. Thank you.